Hey everyone, Michael and Jaden here from Extreme Diecast Racing. How's it going, Jaden?
Hi.
Ready for another championship race?
Yeah.
All right, we've got number 9 for you. 90 cars in the 2 baskets. Some of you have chosen which ride you think will win. So the winner gets 5 free cars. We got our champ here. He's ready to race. This is Side Splitter. Won in our last championship race after the Firebird Funny Car reigned forever. We're going to be running all the cars down our 41-foot long ramp all the way to the finish line. It's a really long track and they go really fast. We're hoping there's a car in here that can put up some competition to the champ. All right, let's get going. Here's the first group, and first up is a faster than ever 2009 Corvette Stingray concept. Should be a really fast one. The green one is a Fandango. Here in the middle is a 59 Caddy. Then we've got a custom Cougar, and the last one is a Fiat 500. We'll line them up. Our first group is lined up and ready to go. Faster than ever Corvette over on the left. His wheels are really nice. Should take this one. We've got that skinny 59 Caddy. Those guys fishtail down our track. So it ought to be fun to watch in the slow-mo. Let's see who takes it. The 2009 custom Corvette took that race. Faster than ever wheels on this guy, and you can tell, really nice wheels. Might be a competitor in the finals. First up from the Quicksilver series is the Aero Flash. Then we've got Baseline. Here in the middle is T-Bird Stalker. Then we've got A-Crate and Rockster. We'll line them up. Group number 2 is lined up. Baseline, the black truck on the left, has really nice wheels. We got Aero Flash on the left also, purple car. Relatively heavy, so we'll have to see. I think one of those two is going to take it. The Aeroblast Blizzard here is pretty fast. This car has decent wheels, but it has a really nice metal base to it. Plastic top gives it enough weight to take it down the track. It's moving on to the next round. Here's the next group. First up is Fangola, then we've got the 16 Cadillac ATS VR. Here in the middle is the Road Rocket. Then we've got the Rook Fandango, and then the 59 Custom Cadillac. They're set to race. I had to switch up the order a bit. That Cadillac, the black car, is extremely wide. Couldn't be near the starter. So I moved him over to lane number 2. All right, let's see who takes it. Vangla won the race, but just barely by beating out the run cam. That was one of the slowest groups we've ever ran. Bad tires, bad wheels on all of them. So Vangla's moving on, but not a very fast car. First up is Street Beast. We've got Austin Healy. Here in the middle is Diora 2. And then we've got a Power Pistons, and finally we've got a Deuce Roadster. We'll line them up. This group has much better wheels than the last group. And this black convertible on the left, that's metal on metal. He's actually got pretty decent weight to him. Austin Healy, the green convertible, has really good wheels. Let's see who takes this one. Street Beast took that one. This is kind of a Batman mobile looking car. It's also decently heavy, weighted in at 45 grams, metal on metal. I was surprised to see this one win though. He's moving on. First up, we got a construction vehicle. This is Wheel Loader. Then we've got Road Rocket. Here in the middle is another 59 Caddy. Then we got a Maelstrom and then a Fandango. We're lined up and ready to race. We've got some bad wheels on some of these. Amazingly enough, that front end loader has decent wheels. Fandango does too. Well, Fandango took it. This was probably the heaviest car of the group. Weighs into 32 grams. But it has really good wheels. So he's moving on to the next round. Here's the next group. First up is kind of a interesting car. This is Astro Funk. And we've got Fangula. Here in the middle, we've got What For 2. And we've got two box cars. The first one's Boombox, and the next one is Shoebox. We'll line them up. We're lined up and ready to race. We've got two real similar cars on the left, the Fangula and the Astro Funk. They're both metal on metal, but they're both not real heavy. We'll see how it goes. That was an awesome race. Astro Funk didn't start off well, was behind, but shot ahead in the long end. Yeah, this car, I actually quite like it. It's a good looking car. I've never had this one in the collection, so it's fun to see him move on to the next round. We've raced 30 cars so far, and here are the losers lined up, watching on the bleachers. Here's the other half of them. We had some nice cars in here, but not fast enough. And here are 6 that are moving on. Got some interesting ones like this Astro Funk, Fandango. Then we've got Street Beast, kind of the Batman looking car. Then we've got Fangula, Aeroblast. Then we got the Faster Never Corvette Stingray. Alright, first up we've got Street Beast. Nice convertible, dressed up as the King of Hearts. Then we've got Road Rocket. Callaway C7 is here in the middle. Then we got a faster than ever. This is What For 2. We're thinking this guy should win this group, but we'll see. Then we've got a truck on the end. This is Super Smooth. It's actually got a decent amount of weight to him. We'll see who takes it. We're set to race. We've got that What For 2 faster than ever over in lane 2, so that's the red and yellow car. But we've also got this Street Beast on the left. Other Street Beasts have been pretty quick, even though they're kind of skinny cars. But the Road Rocket, that red and black one, all of those have awful axles and wheels. They're just not very fast. Let's see who takes it. This What For 2 is extremely fast. It's got great wheels, looks really nice. The axles and wheels are as good as I've seen in a long time, so hoping this thing does really well and maybe even puts up some competition with the champ. All right, he's moving on to the next round. We've got 1959 Cadillac, Power Pistons, in the middle is Diora 2, then Cloud Cutter, and Shoebox. We'll line them up. They're lined up and ready to race. Got some interesting cars in this group. This Cadillac over on the left, he's kind of skinny. We'll see if he fishtails. Cloud Cutter took that race. Yeah, our run cam had a bit of a spill, so we'll have to see how that footage looks. Cloud Cutter's moving on to the next round. First up, we got a tow truck. This is Toe Jam. Then we've got Shadow Jet. In the middle is the T-Bird stock car. Then we've got Boombox, and the last one is Ford Shelby GR1 Concept. They're lined up and ready to race. This tow truck on the left, it's got 6 wheels, 3 axles, and the middle axles are all bound up. They're not touching the ground, so we're going to see how he does. Shadow Jet is a rocket. This thing's metal on metal, and he's pretty fast. Beat those guys by quite a bit. Moving on to the next round. First up, we've got a truck. This is Super Smooth. Then a Fangula. Here in the middle is a Nightburner, a Diora 2, and then we've got a Ford Mustang GT Concept. We've got a Ford Mustang over on the right, a couple of fantasy cars, and we got this truck over here on the left. See which one's fastest. This is a fast Fingala. He won out and he's moving on to the next round. Yeah, this is a nice looking car. Skinny wheels on the front, wides on the back, and he is pretty fast. First up, we have a couple of convertibles. We got a Deuce Roadster. Then we've got a 1963 T-Bird. Custom Cougar here in the middle. Then we've got a Chrysler Pronto, and then a Power Pistons. We're set to race. Check these guys out, and there are some decent wheels here. I'd say the Deuce Roadster is not too bad. The heaviest one is the 63 Cadillac, the silver one. All right, let's see how they do. The Chrysler Pronto took that one, but it was really close. The Custom Cougar was right there, actually was ahead in the long run, but this guy pulled ahead right before the finish line, so he's moving on to the next round. First up, we've got Asphalt Assault and then Attitude. And in the middle, we've got Road Rocket. This truck is called Off Duty, and the final one is Shadow Jet. Over on the far right is that Shadow Jet. We already had a Shadow Jet win in this race, so we'll see if this guy can win too. This yellow car has pretty decent wheels. It's Asphalt Assault. Let's see how he does. Shadow Jet took that one. This is our second Shadow Jet to win in this race. Yeah, we weighed him. He's about 34 grams, metal on metal. So, not too heavy, but heavier than the other cars he's racing. We've now raced 72 cars. Here are the cars that weren't fast enough to move on. We've got 4 stands of them now. All watching, waiting to see who's going to be the winner and who can take on the champ. And here's the semi-finalists. Got this Corvette here with Faster Than Ever. Also this What 24 with Faster Than Ever wheels. A couple of Shadow Jets, a couple of Fingalas. Also got this car here. I quite like that one. The bubble on top. Find out which one's the fastest. And they'll take on our current champ. This is Side Splitter. Here's our next group. First up is a Ford Focus with a huge fin on the back. Then we've got an Astro Funk. Here in the middle is a really nice car, 2009 Corvette Stingray Concept. We've got a shoe box and finally a swoop coupe. We'll get them lined up. That Corvette sure looks great. It looks to have pretty good wheels too, so we'll see how he does. Shoebox is pretty heavy. That's the black car just to the right of the Corvette. Astro Funk is a nice car. We'll see how he does. And then we've got this Ford Focus with a big fin. Ought to be a good race. Shoebox won that race and beat out the Corvette. That Corvette looks awesome. The Shoebox is a bit heavier and a bit faster, so he's moving on. First up is a Mercedes SLK. This is metal on metal. He's a bit of a brick, so should be fast. X-Steam is next. 63 T-Bird. Then we've got a Boom Box, and the last one is a Road Rocket. We've got that Mercedes over in lane number 5 on the left, the yellow car. Pretty heavy, but the T-Bird, that convertible right in the middle, is probably heavier. So we'll see which one's fastest of those two. The Mercedes SLK took that one. He weighs in at 38 grams, metal on metal, decent wheels, so he's moving on to the next round. First up is a Pagani Hyra, then a Power Pistons. Then we've got this really heavy car here in the middle. This is a tail dragger. Up next is a Shoebox, and the last one is a Road Rocket. We'll line them up. Yeah, this is an interesting group. We got a Shoebox, which does well. That's the white car on the right, lane number 2. And we've got the tail dragger. It weighs in at 58 grams. Probably one of the heaviest cars in this race. And we got the Hyra Pagani over there on the far left. Let's see who takes it. The Road Rocket took that race. We've raced a number of Road Rockets in this race. They're not very fast, so I was surprised to see this guy win. He's got a bling paint job going, so maybe he's faster than the rest. First up is an 09 Corvette Stingray Concept, then a Blitz Speeder. Here in the middle is a 17 Pagani Hyra Roadster, then a 16 Mercedes AMG GT3, and the last one is a 32 Ford. Yeah, this is a fast looking group. Got some sports cars here. That Corvette has some really nice wheels on them. All right, let's see who takes it. The 2009 Corvette Concept Stingray took the race. He definitely had the best wheels of the group, and he's the best looking car, I'd say, too. He's moving on to the next round. First up is a Diora 2. Then we've got a 16 Mercedes AMG GT3. In the middle is a Power Pistons. Then we've got a 2017 Pagani Huayra Roadster. And the last one is Shoebox. They're lined up and ready to race. We've got another Shoebox. They've done well. Got another Mercedes also. We'll have to see if this guy can take a race. This is our second Shoebox to win a race. So we've got two of them in the semifinals. It's a pretty decent casting for racing. This is our last group. First up is a Deuce Roadster, then a Pagani Huayra. Here in the middle, we've got a Power Pistons, then we've got a Shoebox, and the last one is a Custom Cougar. We're set to race. We've got another Shoebox, the green car. This would be the third one to move on to the semifinals if he wins. The Deuce Roadster over here on the left should do well. Let's see who takes it. Shoebox won again. We had 5 shoeboxes in this race and 3 of them won and moved on to the semifinals. We'll see how they compare in the semifinals with the others. Welcome to the semifinals of Championship Race 9. We've raced 90 cars so far. We got the ones that weren't fast enough sitting here on the stands ready to watch the races for the semifinals. We ran some pretty fast cars. Ran some that weren't very fast, like this front end loader. Definitely not made for speed. And here's the last group. Here's the N18 semifinalists. We've got 2 faster nevers. There's this Corvette here and this What 2.4. And then we had a couple of castings you'll see multiples of, like the Shadow Jet. Bangla, we had a couple of them. There's another Shadow Jet. And then we had 3 shoeboxes. Mercedes, MLK here. There's another Corvette and the other 2 shoeboxes. So we'll find out which one's the fastest of these 18. That'll be the winner of the race, and the winner of the race will take on our current champ. This is a side splitter funny car. This is our first group of semifinalists. We've got 4 groups coming up, 2 groups of 5 and 2 groups of 4. Over on the left, the yellow car is the Mercedes SLK, and we got the Chrysler Pronto. In the middle is the 2008 Stingray Corvette Concept, and we've got a Fangala. Then on the far right is What 2.4, and this has the Faster Never wheels. We'll see which car takes 2 races first and moves on to the finals. The What 4.2 with the Faster Never wheels took that race. We'll see if he can take another one and move on to the finals. The Corvette was right on his tail though, so we should have a good second race. We're lined up for the second race of Group 1 in the semifinals. So far, What 4.2 with this Faster Never wheels has taken a race on the far left. The Corvette was right on his tail, and the Mercedes wasn't far behind either. We'll see who takes this race. The 2008 Concept Stingray took that race, and he won it by quite a bit. We'll have to see if Faster Never can catch up to him. We're lined up for race number 3, and we've got a tie so far. The gray Corvette on the far right is taking a race. Then we've got the What 4.2, which is the red car, yellow cover over the engines, is taking a race, and that has Faster Never wheels. If one of those two wins one more, they're moving on to the finals. Well, the Stingray took it, won 2 races, 2-1 over the Faster Never. So he's moving on to the finals. We've got our second group of semifinalists lined up and ready to race. Over on the left, we have Aero Blast, but on the bottom of the car, it's called Silver Bullet. So they must have changed the name over time. The black Batmobile looking car is called Street Beast. The green one is Shoebox. Then we've got Shadow Jet. And the far right, the white car with the bulb on top, that is called Astro Funk. First to take 2 moves on. Here's our winner. This is Aero Blast, at least on the packaging. The bottom of the car says Silver Bullet. This guy's fast. Took that race pretty easily. See if he can take another one. We're lined up for race number 2. And so far, the purple car, Aero Blast, has taken a race. First to take 2 moves on. This is one of 3 shoeboxes in the semifinals, and he took the second race. So we're going to line him up again and see if he can take one more and move on. This is race number 3, and so far Shoebox has taken a race, and then we've got Aero Blast, the purple car, with a race. First to 2 moves on. Shoebox took another race, so he won 2. We had Aero Blast win 2. Aero Blast right at the very end of the race came off the track, but it was clear Shoebox was going to win. So Shoebox is moving on to the next round. Here's group 3 of our semifinalists. Over on the left is Cloud Cutter. Then the white one is another Shoebox. Then the blue is a Fandango, and over on the right is a Fangula. First to win 2 moves on. Fandango took that race. He's taken 1. If he takes 1 more, he's moving on to the finals. They're set for race number 2. Fandango on the far right, the blue SUV, is taking a race. We'll see if any of these other 3 can catch him. Shoebox took the second race. So shoeboxes in general are pretty fast. We'll see if this guy can keep it up and take 1 more to move on to the finals. We've got 2 winners so far. We've got the Shoebox on the far right and the Fandango on the far left. First to win 2 moves on to the finals. Shoebox took another race, so he lost the first race and won races 2 and 3, moving on. So this shoebox casting is pretty quick. 2 shoeboxes are already in the finals, we still have 1 more to go. This is our 4th and final group of the semifinalists. Over on the left is a 2009 Concept Corvette Stingray, faster than ever wheels. Then we've got this black shoebox. Then we've got a Road Rocket. And over on the far right is a Shadow Jet. First to win 2 moves on. Shadow Jet took that race. He is metal on metal, so he's decently heavy. We'll see if he can keep it up and take another one to move on to the finals. Shadow Jet took the first race, beating out the Corvette and the shoebox. Now he's over in lane number 5. Takes 1 more, he's moving on. Shadow Jet swept him. The Corvette with the faster than ever wheels was right behind him though. So, Shadow Jet's moving on to the finals. Welcome to the finals race. We've raced 90 cars. Got them all lined up here. They're watching the races. Some great cars, but not fast enough to move on. Here's our semifinalists that lost out. And here's the 4 semifinalists that moved on to the finals race. The white and the green one are shoeboxes. And we've got this Corvette Stingray Concept over here on the bottom left. And we've got this Shadow Jet right here. Whoever wins is the winner of the race and has a chance to dethrone our current champ. This is the Funny Car Side Splitter. We're lined up for our first finals race. We've got the Corvette on the right, the white shoebox, Shadow Jet, and then the green shoebox. First to win 3 races is the winner of this race and takes on our champ. The shoebox barely won that race. He was right in front of the Corvette, but it was good enough to take the first one. We'll line him up again and see if he can keep it going. I've switched up the lanes for race number 2. The white car shoebox has taken a race, but the Corvette was right on his tail. I think this race is still up for grabs. Shoebox took another race, but the Corvette was right on his tail once again. That Corvette is pretty quick, but maybe not quick enough to catch Shoebox. I've switched up the lanes for race number 3. The white Shoebox on the far left has taken 2 races, just barely beating out the Corvette both races. If he takes one more, he's the winner of this championship race, and he earns a date to try to dethrone our current champ. Shadow Jet took race number 3, so he's making this race interesting. We'll see if he can keep it up. This is race number 4. The white Shoebox has taken 2 races, and Shadow Jet on the far left has taken 1 race. First to 3 is the winner. Shadow Jet is making this very interesting, taking the last 2 races, so we're tied up 2-2. We're lined up for race number 5, and this could be our last race. We're tied up 2-2 between the white Shoebox and the gray Shadow Jet. The first to win 3 is the winner of this race and takes on our champ. Well, I didn't see that coming. The Corvette came out of nowhere and took race number 5. He's been there in almost every race, so we'll see if he can keep it up and become a challenger to win this one. This is becoming an exciting race. We've got the white Shoebox with 2 wins, the gray Shadow Jet with 2 wins, and the gray Corvette on the left with 1 win. First to win 3 is the winner of the race. The Corvette Stingray is putting up a good fight, making this a very good race. So we're tied up 2-2. One of these 3 cars is going to win it. We'll line them up again. This might be the most competitive finals race we've ever had. We're tied up. 3 cars have won 2 races. So we've got the white Shoebox on the left with 2, the Corvette with 2. Then we've got the gray Shadow Jet with 2 wins. First to win 3 is the winner of the race. That was an awesome final series. That was about as competitive as it can get. So we have this Corvette with 2 wins. We had the white shoebox with 2 wins, and Shadow Jet won out with 3. So Howard Moe Jr. was the first one to pick this one. We also had Roberto from the Netherlands who chose it too, but he was just a little bit behind Howard. So Howard, we're going to be sending out some cars. If you'll put your address in our Instagram account, we'll send them your direction. Yeah, good job on picking the winner. Now, the Shadow Jet is going to take on our current champ. This is the Funny Car Side Splitter. We'll line them up. Here's our weigh-in. We've got our current champ at 59 grams, so he's pretty heavy. And then the Challenger comes in at 39 grams. They're lined up and ready to race. We've got the champ in lane number 4, Challenger in lane number 5. First to win 3 is the champ. Well, that was a pretty surprising race for me. I didn't think Shadow Jet was going to take a race, but he beat out our champ by at least a car length. We'll line him up again and see if our funny car can warm up. We didn't run him, so maybe he's got to take a run or two to warm up. We're lined up for race number 2. The Challenger Shadow Jet took the first race. We're going to see if our champ is warmed up now. That was one close race. We looked at it a couple of times on both slow-mo views, and Shadow Jet just barely inched him out with the point of the front of his car. But it looks like our champ is warming up, because that was a much closer race than the first one. We'll see if this guy can keep it up and win one more. We've moved over to lanes 1 and 2. Challenger has got 2 wins under his belt, and our champ still hasn't taken a race, but he's getting faster each time. We'll see who takes this one. Well, our champ, the funny car side splitter, is getting faster each race, but still, on the long end, Shadow Jet was catching up to him. So Shadow Jet is a pretty fast car. We'll line him up again. This is race number 4 to find out who's going to be our all-time champ. The current champ has taken one race, and he's over on the right, and our challenger over on the left has taken 2. First to 3 is our champion. That last race was so close, we weren't sure who won. We finally decided Shadow Jet. Looked like he just barely beat him, even though the finish line indicated that our champ had taken that race. So we're going to run him once more, just to make sure, in the same lanes. See if Shadow Jet can do it one more time. Well, after the re-race of race number 3, the funny car did win over in lane number 1. So now we're tied up 2-2. It comes down to one last race to see who can take it all. These two cars are extremely good competition. So close it's hard to tell who's winning. So after we went through that last race and raced them twice, decided that funny car must have won. So we're tied up 2-2. So whoever wins this race is our champ. Let's see who takes it. That was a great set of finals races. We had some true competitors, including this Corvette and the shoebox. Shadow Jet just barely inched him out, but he almost won the championship. He was that close to taking it. And here's our champion. He kept his throne, and he's sitting up here celebrating. So this is our funny car, the side splitter. He lived to see another day, but just barely. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you at the next race.